We have heard that you have indicated interest in running for Osun State Gubernatorial Elections 2018. How true is that?
That is exact. It is quite correct. I've been out there, consulting with the people and mobilizing support since March 2017, and I'm still very much active in town.
What exactly qualifies you to be next governor of Osun State?
One, I went to school. That's the primary qualification from the Constitution. And I'm age enough to come out and say I want to be governor of my state. Third, which is most important, is the fact that I know that at this critical juncture in the history of my state, there is the need for intervention that could liberate the economy of the state and make it the dream of the people. So as we hear right now, the economy is in such a situation that requires a successor to the current governor that will be able to take off from where it's going to start effectively to better position the economy. So the knowledge of which I have and the ability to pursue and the consuming passion that I believe that I inherit from nature.
So you'll be contesting on the APC
the
and
APC.
Not, decamping to PDP?
No, not at all. APC, I've been a natural member of APC from the day of AD, AAC, ACN, APC. And I've been counsel to the party for so many years. So it's my natural home.
How confident are you that present Osun State Governor Aregbesola would eventually pick you as the party's candidate?
Well, that is a little bit out of the way. The governor is not the one to pick his successor. It is to be done by a democratic process, and the governor is not arrogating to himself the power to pick his successor. So all he can do, which has the right to do constitutionally, is to say that, okay, somebody that will succeed him will be somebody of his own inclination as well. He can as well make a contribution to that, but not to solely unpick. So he is not doing that. We've been very good friends together, and he's somebody I so much love, but that doesn't mean that he has to support me. All I know is that, okay, everybody will have to showcase his talents and abilities, and that is what will determine at the primary of the party who is going to be the candidate of the party.
As an election petition lawyer, which you are, how would you be funding your campaigns?
Well, that is a simple process for me. Aside from the personal funds that is at my disposal, I equally have a number of supporters and friends who have been making contributions and are eagerly waiting for the appropriate time to make further contributions. We are equally launching a campaign for fundraising because I believe that it cannot be an individual, there's nobody who can bankroll an electoral process except if he's a thief. So it's something that there must be contributions from the people who actually desire. And I have been in love with the people for quite a long while. My friends have been there. Supporters have been rolling out. They've been doing a lot of things, for me, free. And that's been the goodwill for which I am quite thankful to them.
A lot of people say you lack the administrative experience and pedigree to run for Osun State gubernatorial elections, being that you've only served as an election petition lawyer.
Well, that cannot be correct. I've been administering people for so many years, right from my days as a student leader. So if I could control thousands of students from those days, when I was the Secretary General of the Students' Union of my university, University of Ilorin, and subsequently the Secretary of NANS for Zone C, it was a very good administrative experience for me. Thereafter, to become the convention chairman in 1995 in Congo, Zaria. So that is, I think it was a plus for me. And subsequently, I've run businesses. I've been a managing partner of a law firm for so many years now. And, I just recently concluded the receivership of this television company, the Silverbird. So together with all other businesses it has. So it's a very good managerial experience for me. People who claim that, okay, except if you are a commissioner or maybe a minister, before you cannot vie for a gubernatorial slot or any other electoral office, I think they are being mischievous. Because what office can they say Macron had held before? And today we cannot say he's a bad performer. And even President Obama himself, he was a senator, and that doesn't necessarily mean that he had presided over the economy of a state before. So all you need to have is the ability to do it, which in any case will be displayed in what you are telling the people, the contributions you have made in the past. May not necessarily be in office. So when you look at it, the experiences that people are even talking about, majority of the people bank on their past experiences. It is experiences in thievery, experiences in stealing, so in looting public funds. So how many of them can boast of better experience in terms of managerial ability than we do? So we believe that it is just being mischievous by saying that I do not have the managerial capacity to manage the economy of Osun. I mean, from what I've been telling the people, people believe that definitely this is the way to go. And that is the fundamental.
Too many Nigerians say they are tired of the APC and the PDP, and you're here seated here saying you would be contesting under the APC. Do you think that you're going to get enough public goodwill?
Vast majority of Nigerians are saying, too many Nigerians are saying that they are tired of APC, but majority of Nigerians are saying that they want APC back in office still. So I think with that, and what we are looking at, well, based on your assessment, from the poll we have conducted, things that we have done, we could say that conveniently, in Osun, for instance, the party to beat is APC. There's no doubt about it. The party to beat is still APC. PDP was completely dead until about, some few months ago when we had a West senatorial election. And it wasn't PDP that won that election. It was just our people's intention to show that, okay, look, they had a lot of sympathy for a former member of our party who was to be the candidate of who wanted to be a candidate of our party in the next gubernatorial election, Alhaji Adegoke. That was, in sympathy for the family. That was what dictated the voting for his younger brother, the platform of PDP. They didn't vote for PDP. They only voted for the younger brother in order to complete the slot of the elder brother. And that is quite reasonable. It is understandable. So now people are saying that, look at PDP. Where have they been? They don't even know how to do opposition. They don't know how to run government. They don't know how to run opposition. So it is a complete flop on their side. So right now in Osun, APC is still the party to beat. And that is why everywhere you go, everywhere that I have been to, the reception has been fantastic. People have been saying that I have no blemish in terms of maybe, all the rot that has characterized the majority of the people that have been coming out. But as for me, Kunle Adegoke, K-Rad, it's been a fantastic reception from the people. And from what we have seen so far, we're going to have it's going to be a landslide. I can promise you about that.
Those are the three most important sectors that you would like to revamp in Osun State.
Fundamental is rebuilding the economy. Without the economy being rebuilt, there is nothing we can do. Then from there, I have a 4-point agenda. Rebuilding the economy, revamping the educational sector, then giving life to the health sector and infrastructural development. And you see that these 4, they cover every other thing you can talk about. People will ask you some things, they will say, what about the judiciary? The judiciary is the third arm of the government. I don't have to have a special agenda for the third arm of the government. They must enjoy their autonomy. That's the fundamental. But when you talk about the 4-point agenda, rebuilding the economy of Osun right now is generating an IGR less than 1 billion naira. So, and we, from the budget recently presented by the governor, we need a minimum of about 14.6 billion naira to fully implement every month, to fully implement the 2018 budget. So because the governor presented a budget of 173.9 billion naira, the implication is that monthly there must be a minimum of 14.4 to 14.5 billion that must be generated, either with the allocation or the IGR. And if you look at my manifesto, I talked about an economy that must generate minimally 15 billion naira every month. So we're more or less like talking on the same pedestal. And that is the only way we can, revamp the economy to make it possible for it to address all other areas of the society. So if we reposition the economy, we have enough resources to take care of education of the people, we have enough resources to take care of their health, then we'll be able to address their infrastructural deficits, to the point that it will become a showcase to the whole world. And that is my ambition. So economy first, and that is the most primary. I have ways that I want to address the economy. I have the low-hanging fruits. I have the long-term targets that I have already outlined. If you look at the economy of Osun, it's purely agrarian. It's hugely agrarian. And an economy that is agrarian must be able to address its agricultural sector effectively. We have land, so we are here to tap it. We have to look into it. We have to develop our agriculture. So I want to make sure that the land that we have from Ikire to Ile-Ife, to Ilesha, to Owena, to Okela, to Ejigbo, that we convert all arable lands to farms. By the time we have maximum production of food, then we have something to sell to the whole world, which is being done by some northern states right now. So we are going to do that. And from there, we are going to pick up effectively, and we'll be able to compete with the rest of the world.
Presently, Osun State faces a very high debt profile.
Sure.
Well, we know of teachers civil servants who have not been paid salaries for a very long period of time.
Right.
How would you change this situation?
Right. That is a very fantastic question that I believe that an incoming government must be able to address effectively. If you look at what I've been telling the people, my position has always been that I'm not afraid of the debt overhang. it is the natural part of the economy. I read so much of commercial law. You know, I'm an expert in commercial law, and I know that businesses are best funded through debt. You know, so when you fund businesses through debt, you are managing your economy on the funds of some other people. Then your ability to expand the economy sufficiently to embrace the debt is the fundamental. So we are going to run an economy that is expansive and embracive enough to address. Lagos State has a debt profile of about 800 billion naira. It is the largest debt profile as far as Nigeria and probably West Africa is concerned, in a unit that belongs to a federation. So the implication is that if Lagos, with such a huge debt profile, is able to manage it, then all we need to do is to expand the economy, to make it embracive enough to be able to adequately take care. In fact, lenders are going to approach us to come and borrow more. So by the time they see the way the economy is growing, and that is what we are addressing.
Yes, you did address the issue of expanding the economy, but about payment of civil servant salaries, you were silent to that.
The moment we start generating sufficient funds, the moment we start increasing the high GR from 1 billion to 2 billion to 3 billion to 4 billion, then the civil servants' salaries, the obligation of the state in terms of salaries right now is just about 2.7 billion. The moment we grow the economy to 3 billion, 4 billion, then the worker salaries are already addressed. And from there, by the time we are targeting something in the region of 7, 10 billion, you know that we are going to have excess to take care of the remaining. Even if the salary obligation of the state increases to 4 billion, the implication is that we have already created, you know, there is a lot of liquidities in the economy locked up in some sectors that have not really been looked into. And these are the areas that we are going to target. By the time we address this concretely, you discover that we are going to have enough funds not only to take care of worker salaries, but even things, we're going to create wealth that will make it possible for the people to effectively, you know, manage their lives in a way that will be impressive, you know, to people that are watching from outside. And Osun is going to be the destination that everybody is going to be running to.
I think you mentioned education as part of what you intend to do.
Sure.
In Osun State, and we know that the Kaduna State Governor El-Rufai is doing wonderfully well with what's going on in Kaduna State.
Sure.
Do you think you want to toe the line of what he's doing? Sack teachers who are incompetent, and do some other reforms in the educational sector. Okay,
thank you. One thing about education is this: if you go to Osun today, you see that the current government has done some things, fantastically, good enough to enable the succeeding administration to take off from a good standpoint. And if you look at it, there are new schools, beautiful infrastructures that have been built. Then teachers, teaching kits and what have you have been provided. All we need to do now is to ensure that, okay, we take off from there. Now, if we have incompetent teachers, one, we want to address the deficit. The deficit did not come yesterday. It didn't begin, last year. It's a rot that had been on ground for so many years. The current administration has tried its own bit. So what we are going to do now is to ensure that, okay, majority of these teachers we are going to retrain the trainers, because without retraining the trainers, you discover that majority of them are just living on the old glories. So we are not going to embark on sacking teachers, because if you sack them, you throw them back into the unemployment market. The way is going to take care of them. And unemployed youths, majority of them are still young men and women. They are going to become the ready tools in the devil's workshop. We don't want that. So we want to ensure that, okay, from the first moment, we send majority of them back for retraining. During holidays, they are not going to just go on holiday and then everybody will bubble and come back and still continue, what we found to be unsatisfactory enough. So they are going to be retrained. We are going to ensure that what they are going to give to our kids, to our worlds, to our students, will be something qualitative enough to address their future. That's the way we want to go.
What's your view on the assertion that your party lacks internal democracy, that takes to, take the party to another level?
Yeah, we have made that criticism, and we want our party to improve more on it. And you discover that it is not a complete deficit in some respects, in some areas, where there was non-compliance with the Constitution, there was non-compliance with the law, with the guidelines of the party. We have addressed all this, and we said, look, there must be complete adherence to internal democracy principles, which the Constitution of the party, the Constitution of Nigeria, actually foster. So that is the standpoint we are coming from. And there's no way it's going to be possible for that to be sidetracked now. So there is going to be total observance of internal democracy.
Are there ways or areas that you think Governor Aregbesola has not done well, and you think you want to improve on if eventually you become a governor?
Well, I don't assess governments in such a way because, government is like the human system. The human system is complex, and you cannot holistically take care of everything, without critically looking into it. I would say that the government of Adegoke has done its own bit. It has tried in a number of respects. With respect to workers' salaries, there has been a deficit, which we must immediately start to address. With respect to maybe the standard of the economy right now, is something that is growing. Osun has been ranked to be second largest economy in Nigeria. We want to ensure that it becomes first. There's nothing that stops us from making it first. There's nothing that stops us from, nothing can stop us from making it the best. As far as Africa is concerned, as far as, the economy of the third world is concerned. So we want to ensure that, okay, now areas where probably there are some inabilities, we address them. For instance, the area of the economy is very fundamental. Once the economy is gotten right, all other things, criticism like failure to pay teacher salaries, worker salaries are going to be effectively addressed. So those are the areas that I think that, okay, we need to work on. Because without the deficit, without acknowledging the deficit of maybe the outgoing government, we won't be able to know areas that we need to concentrate on. And that is very fundamental. The governor and the people in government are human beings. They can't be perfect. So and we won't arrogate perfection to them, except to Almighty. As
the conversations about herdsmen killings and what the FG needs to do to curb the killings continue, Osun State government has rejected the cattle colony being proposed by the federal government. What do you have to say about this?
Well, the idea of cattle colony is something that is, is not appropriate to address the differences that we have in Nigeria. Because if you talk about cattle colony, if that includes taking some people's land, to be converted to cattle colony, then who is going to be the owner of the land? If you're saying that you are going to revoke the right of occupancy of some families, then you are going to give to people who are going to use it, who are more or less, in quote, foreigners to that particular area. You are not promoting healthy relationship. And there's nobody that will leave his economy, his own means of sustenance, to be dominated by another. So I believe that what the federal government needs to do is to enable, when you want to create ranches, I think it's better we go the ranching way. And that is going to be a kind of unity between the federal government and the state government to create these opportunities for not only herdsmen, even cattle owners, livestock owners who are in the immediate communities that we are talking about. So it is not a question of just creating a colony elsewhere. We're colonized by British. Who is colonizing us now? If you talk about a cattle colony, cattle is going to colonize us again. So that is the area that I think that needs to be perfectly addressed. So there must be a unity of effort on this dangerous issue. It's a dangerous issue.
As the Osun State elections draw closer and 2019 elections draw closer as well, what are some of the areas or the challenges you think INEC needs to address ahead of elections?
Well, it is fundamental that INEC should get its acts right, and certain areas like ensuring that the electoral materials are ready ahead of the election. It is very fundamental. The distribution of materials, then ensuring adequate security. So this is an alliance not only to be handled by INEC alone, by the government as well, to ensure that there is adequate provision of security. What we witnessed in Anambra is a huge lift recently, and I believe that the government should increase on this to ensure that we don't have all these things that are, all these negatives that have characterized the narratives in our electoral process in the past. So I believe that INEC should up its ante to ensure this.
What are your expectations for 2019 presidential elections?
Well, I believe that APC is going to win wherever we put forward. And all we need to do right now is to ensure that, we conscientize Nigerians better. We answer more their demands. The issue of the herdsmen and what have you is already being addressed by the government, and the economy itself. A number of things recently have been put in place to ensure that, there's going to be better cushion. We are coming from a rot that has characterized the system for so many years, and it's not something that can be wiped off, by magic. And the process the government has embarked upon right now, the recent appointments of people into the boards will give more life, to the various sectors of the economy and the polity that they are to preside over. So I believe that APC is on the right track. We're going to win.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kunle Adegoke.
Thank you very much. Pleased to be here. Right.